Ferrero Rocher, the owners of Nestle Confectionaries.
Let's get this done so I can get back to my Ferrero Rochers.
Well, hello there. Welcome to On the Beat, the podcast that uncovers full frontal male nudity in cinema. My name is Laura, and I am joined by the man of the new year, Ryan.
I'm a new year. I'm a new man.
Are you?
Or I'm a new man, and it's a new year.
You're a new year
Yes.
man.
Yes. I might turn into Stifler. Maybe I should.
Yeah,
Old Stifler. Old Stiffmeister.
there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Stiffmeister, we are starting off the year a little bit easier. We're not delving into despair. We're not descending into darkness.
Well, no. Hold on. Look. It's fine. It's a new year. It's a new me. It's new. Everything is new. It's going to be fine.
And we're having a new film, which is the one we're going to talk about right now. We are going to start off a little light, a little easy, a little bit breezy for this new year when we talk about the 2012 sex comedy American Reunion.
It's about bringing people together, old friends, an old friendship story.
Old lovers.
Yeah, bringing people together. A 13-year, well, that's if you don't include the spin-offs, but at least a 13-year cinematic dynasty.
Well, yeah, 13 years between American Pie and this one, hence why they are doing a 13-year reunion because they couldn't get it together in time to do an actual 10-year reunion film.
Yes, that's very true.
And
but
yes.
Well, wasn't at the 10-year mark. That was the wedding one, right? Maybe. I
don't know. I'm sure you probably have that written down.
I didn't write down the date. I don't think it really made any difference because Chris Klein is not in the wedding one, which I can't be 100% certain I've actually seen. I can't really remember.
Okay. American Wedding was in 2003. So we'll just lay this out really quick. American Pie came out in 1999, followed by American Pie 2 in 2001, American Wedding 2003, and then 2012 is American Reunion. Jesus. I don't care about American Pie Presents. I don't care about Bandcamp, all that stuff.
Well, I'm going to talk about that stuff because that continues the dynasty for a further 8 years. Because those films continue till like 2020.
I heard they're making another one as well. I've never seen any of these spin-off films.
No, I don't. Here's the thing. This is what I found really funny. You know who the only recurring character is in those movies?
Tell me.
It's Eugene Levy's character.
That makes no sense.
He is in all of them other than Girls' Rules, which was the last one.
Eugene Levy... elevates everything that he's in. They're lucky to have him.
Or his character is in those movies.
What do you mean? Are you saying Eugene Levy did not play the...
I don't know if Eugene Levy's in... Because they're straight to video. I don't know if that's like below him. But his character is definitely in those movies. I just kind of want to make that distinction because I don't want to cheapen Eugene Levy in any way, shape, or form.
He is in them. He's in all of those.
Oh, fuck.
That would be insane. Yeah. No one else can play that character.
No, unless it's like the young version,
Oh my God. I don't even want to go there. That just sounds upsetting. There's enough.
Yeah.
We have enough.
Mm-hmm.
This film was directed by John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, and it stars the whole cast, basically, of the original film. The middle two films don't include everybody. But you've got Jason Biggs, Allison Hannigan, Chris Klein, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Tara Reid, Sean William Scott, Mina Savari, Eddie K. Thomas, Jennifer Coolidge, and the one and only Eugene Levy.
Right. Okay. I see.
Let me throw... I feel like hasn't everyone seen this movie? I hope they did.
I don't know. I did like the fact that Chris Klein at one point, when he's he's there, he's just like, well, I couldn't make it to your wedding.
Yeah, right.
And it's kind of just like, oh, okay, that's weird. I mean, I don't know how missed he is, because he's kind of like physical plastic.
He was funny in this film. Okay.
He's decent. It's just, it's obviously the material is wearing thin at this point.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Well, the synopsis pulled from Letterboxd is, the characters we met a little more than a decade ago return to East Great Falls for their high school reunion. In one long overdue weekend, they will discover what has changed, who hasn't, and what time and distance can't break regarding the bonds of friendship. I said some of that wrong. That's okay. You can't break the bond of friendship.
The bonds of friendship.
And the tagline of this is, oh boy, save the best piece for last.
Ooh.
Of that crumbly, cum-filled apple pie.
Yeah, the fuck cake or fuck pie. Yeah, I still can't get over the fact that he thought that was a good idea in that first movie. But
and not take it elsewhere.
Yeah, don't do it in the kitchen. Like,
or take a piece and put it in a bowl, maybe?
Or like it's like those folk who like burn the ends of their cocks, like microwaving those melons that they've drilled a hole into.
Right.
And they put their dick in without thinking, oh, this is going to be really hot.
Right.
And that's a mistake.
Totally.
3rd-degree burns on the end of your member. That's not good for you.
No, certainly not.
No.
Would you like to tell us about the directors? Plural?
Yes. So we're looking at two, comedy gurus here. John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg. They are collectively producer, screenwriters, and directors. They are mostly known for their work on Cobra Kai, the successful, if slightly tiresome now,
I love that show.
Netflix show. It's so fucking repetitive. It's the same thing every single season.
You got to take down Cobra Kai. They've gotten out of control.
It has. It's basically turned into the American Office. It is, yeah. It's the Karate Kid's answer to the American Office.
How?
Because it won't stop.
Oh my gosh! It's maybe on 4 seasons.
Well, what are they waiting for? James Spader to come in and make a cameo or something?
That would be horrible. There's always more people to bring in from the past.
Well, from the Karate Kid movies?
Absolutely. They keep finding them.
I don't know why, because I don't remember them from the original films, like, whatsoever.
I do.
It's like every coach has their own coach who's also got another coach, and there's just this hierarchy. It's like a game of death.
They bring in every single person
of, like, poor white man's karate coaches.
Everyone that beat up Ralph Macchio gets a cameo, and then they become either good boys or bad boys in the scheme of the world building of Cobra Kai. Go on.
Well, it's basically, that's like a Fast and Furious like paradigm. You know what I mean? Like you know the villain that you're going to be facing there is going to become a family member later.
Same thing as the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy so far.
Yeah, except I think that's a little bit more self-aware. Like it knows exactly what it's doing, and it's doing it fantastically. But yes, and so they did Cobra Kai, the Harold and Kumar movies.
Yes.
Which, I mean, there's a few, and then obviously American Reunion. But their filmography, it's not particularly vast, which is why I'm kind of making it a collective as acting as writers, directors, and general filmmakers. They did Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle in 2004, which they wrote, but they didn't direct. Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, 2008. You're going to see a bit of a pattern here. Harold and Kumar Go to Amsterdam in 2008 as well. And then a very Harold and Kumar Christmas from 2011.
This is the very first time that I'm learning that there was a Harold and Kumar Go to Amsterdam. I did not know.
It was always a trilogy. Yeah, it was always a trilogy.
And a Christmas special.
Yeah, and there's a Christmas special as well. So, And then after the Kumar Christmas, we have American Reunion in 2012. After that, we have Blockers 2018, obviously Cobra Kai, which is ongoing from 2018, Plan B, which is 2021, and Obliterated from 2023. So as we're aware, there are 4 mainline American Pie movies that have, bits and pieces of this original ensemble cast from the first movie. And obviously, American Pie Reunion, as it's also called in other parts of the world, is the final film in the series and has, obviously, as we pointed out, the same ensemble cast. After that, do you want to hear what the 5 direct-to-video films were called?
I actually don't at all, but please go on because you wrote them down. I feel like you really want to say them for.
Well, I
reason.
feel like you are.
I think
really
they're dumb.
Hammering it down. Well, I don't care if you think they're dumb. We're giving information. So you said Bandcamp, and I also mentioned Girls Rules as well, which is it's a handful title. It's awful. There's also a film called Naked Mile, Beta House. Do you want to guess what the other one's called?
Cuck House.
No, it's called Book of Love. You were wrong, but that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, no.
There's always room for more.
It was called Book of Love, so
Dumb.
It wasn't Cock House.
I said cuck, but
Cock House.
Cock House is pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be Cock Chair though, wouldn't it? Or like Cock Corner.
Cock House could be another frat one after Beta.
Cock as in cold.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Is that all of them?
That's everything. Okay, great. Yeah, it's just I kind of padded out what I could say because it was a little bit sparse. Also, my notes are relatively quite sparse as well. I'm not 100% sure if that was due to me enjoying the film or just not really having anything else to say. So
it's hard to do. It's hard to review comedy films sometimes because they're
it's almost impossible.
They're jokes.
Yeah, but if you've seen the first few mainline American Pie movies, this kind of ticks all those boxes, basically.
I think it ticks the boxes, but does it a little bit better because the directors were fans of the original, right. And they really tried to do callbacks, but not be too eye-rolling about it.
Yeah.
And they did manage to get the whole cast together. And there's great callbacks, great references. The music's really good.
Yeah.
And
you would expect it to be a little cringy. This film it's there's some funny bits in it. A lot of it comes from Sean William Scott, obviously.
Well, he gets more screen time here.
He gets a lot more screen time here.
For the benefit of all.
Yeah. It's like they kind of took your favorite part of American Pie and they just kind of focused on it a little bit more without making it tiresome as well. Because I'm thinking an hour and a half of Stifler just on his own the entire time might not be that great. It's kind of good when they're all in a group. So,
yeah,
where it all kind of comes together. But yeah.
This is the least cringy in terms of how it's aged, because it's been over 10 years since this has come out.
Yeah.
The first one is very
pre-Y2K
problematic.
Yes,
and many times over. It's still funny. Don't get me wrong, because it has its place, and I remember when I saw it. Incredible, very funny.
It's kind of it's kind of like Farrelly Brothers movies now. Like Dumb and Dumber and
Dumb and Dumber is still perfect.
And like Me, Myself, and Irene, and There's Something About Mary. Like there's some stuff in there where it's kind of there's some shit. In those movies, so
still good.
They're still good, but you kind of it's hard for you to put them to like this generation with some of the humor that they have and what enrages people today. it'd be rough.
Speaking of humor, apparently the directors decided to have kind of a comedy roundtable when they wrote the script. and they wanted to punch it up a bit. So they brought in a bunch of their like industry comedy pals to come in. Patton Oswalt was one of them, for
Okay.
example,
Mhm.
to help come up with new jokes for the film, which they thought was very beneficial, and in terms of the writing process. And that's part of the jokes.
It's probably why some of it is actually funny.
The directors themselves don't sound funny.
That commentary that is provided, it should probably just, I mean, it just shouldn't be on there. Like, they should just have gotten rid of it.
It's one of the most boring commentaries I've seen on a film.
Yeah. It's kind of like if, well, I think we've all seen the Conan the Barbarian. We've all listened to that commentary.
Hilarious that you think that everyone's listened to that commentary. It is a treat.
It's a real treat. The Milius Schwarzenegger combo is something that just needs to be beholden. But no, it was more kind of like, because Arnold, other than that he's hilarious in the commentary, completely unintentionally, he's just kind of stating like what's going on the screen as you're watching it, which is kind of what the guys do in this, and they also seem to have this kind of, weird feeling that they've created the Citizen Kane of comedy films with this one.
I don't know. I don't
get
know
it.
about that so much, but I feel like they think that Harold and Kumar might have been, because they sure do talk about Harold and Kumar quite a bit.
Basically, it's like every little moment that they've prefaced is kind of like, oh, it's like Harold and Kumar. Remember those movies that we wrote? Those stoner movies with John motherfucking Cho.
They are quite proud that this is the very first in the American Pie franchise that features marijuana. They're pretty happy about that.
Huh.
Yeah. With
That's interesting.
Jim's dad and Stifler's mom smoking a joint. Yeah.
Doesn't really make any sense.
Another thing I did learn from the commentary is also referencing Harold and Kumar. When they were in Toronto filming Harold and Kumar, the cast and crew would go to a strip club in town. And next to that nice strip club, there was another more not as nice and not so fancy strip bar called Jilly's Bar.
Okay.
So the first place that all the boys get together in American Reunion is called Jilly's Bar, and it is
Right.
a reference to that creepy strip club in Toronto that all the cast and crew would go to.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, they would go to the one next door. They wouldn't. They would make fun of Jilly's Bar. Hence,
Oh, yeah. It's kind of.
that's something I learned. Isn't that exciting?
I'm a little bit perplexed.
A little
with some
in
of your-
joke.
I mean, I guess.
A lot of random things about the film are in jokes, like the name of the financial firm that Stifler is an intern at.
JBL or something.
It's like John Hurwitz's initials,
Oh,
JHG or something, or JGH.
JGH or something. JDH. Right. Okay.
There's a lot of little things like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Naming characters after friends or old bosses or teachers or whatever.
Which is
I mean, that makes sense.
that's just the way that sometimes it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
You don't have to be so angry about it.
Well, I'm not that I'm angry. I think I'm expecting a lot more from what you say, but really, like, if that amount of trivia is it's quite sad. Usually
That's
we
the
have
most
quite
interesting thing that
Yeah.
I discovered listening to almost 2 hours worth of director commentary. Okay. They're like, we filmed in Atlanta and it was really hot and everyone had to hydrate. Okay. I also learned, like, in some of the other Blu-ray features, on top of the other research that I did, that everyone liked to hit each other in the nuts. Also,
sounds
Jason Biggs
awful.
farts all the time. That's what I learned from watching and listening to commentary for this episode. Jason Biggs is incredibly flatulent. Which I'm like, cool, he's a dude. They all are.
Well, I don't think it's that I'm angry at your your trivia. I think it's the fact that you're angry at your own trivia because you've had to put yourself through it.
I watched American Reunion twice today. I'm not that mad about it because
Well,
it's not terrible.
it's not an awful film though.
It made me laugh quite a few times.
It's actually quite funny.
I can't wait to talk about some of the things that I liked. Speaking of, one of my favorite things happens 23 minutes and 20 seconds into this movie. That's my drum roll. It's the penis scene. I don't know how to do a drum roll.
It's well, yeah, you could just do it on the table like
Tappity 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 toot. Penis scene.
yeah, there is a penis in this movie.
This is the first penis in an American Pie film.
Which is weird because those films are loaded to the brim with just sex stuff.
That's all it's about. It's the classic American male-focused, like high school thing. Like the men want to have sex by either prom or by graduation.
Yes.
They gotta get their bone on.
They gotta bust a nut.
I mean, this is one of the...
On or around a woman or a guy or whoever.
The women just don't care. The men want a pork, and they're gonna get someone to give it up.
Yeah, the female characters in these movies don't fare particular. They're a little bit cardboard, and I feel like that's just by design. They're not particularly funny.
I don't know. Allison Hannigan is incredible.
Oh, Heather, was it Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good, but she doesn't, there's not a lot of range, and it's not like they give her anything to play off of either.
Well, they gave her a baby.
Write enough.
They gave her a baby in this one.
Literally gave her like
and her sense of humor.
Yeah.
Her sense of humor went right out the window.
Pretty much, yeah. Like a piece of her was taken away.
She's still amazing, but yeah, all the boys got to have fun.
Yeah, aye.
There was no
It was always like that though. Like it was always like that.
There's just such a huge cast, and every single person has their own storyline that you're having to delve into, and it could have been a lot bigger of a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm digressing. We are talking about penis scene. So
we started and then we had to come back.
This was 23 minutes, 20 seconds into the film, and this particular scene was Allison Hannigan's very first day of filming.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
And I guess to set up the scene, the boys went out drinking.
Yeah.
And they met up with Stifler.
A lot's kind of happened.
At the whatever bar.
Well, I
just said, Jilly's.
Yeah, so the boys are back together, because we don't really need to go too far into it. The boys are back together, and Stifler ends up taking them to like a high school party on the water. And there's already been a fair amount of like setup for Jim to be like, basically set up with somebody used to babysit.
Right.
Yeah, so he was babysitting, and then this person's all grown up now, and she's just turning 18. Wink, wink. But basically, they've had a big night of drinking, and Jim wakes up in the kitchen, on the kitchen floor. There's
empty beer bottles, and there's snackage all over the counter, but he is trouserless. He is pantsless.
Porky pegging it.
Yeah. I don't know if he was wearing shoes, but he was wearing a shirt.
I don't know if we didn't get that far down, but he's 100%. He's wearing a t-shirt that you cannot pull down any further.
No.
Yeah.
No. And they're staying at his dad's house. So they're in the original kitchen, the American Pie. The fucking bedroom, countertop.
Yeah, the bedroom and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but they're in the kitchen where he had sex with that pie.
Yes.
And it's basically at the point where his wife and her friend walk in, and he has to, in a very comedic fashion indeed, hide the fact that he's not wearing any pants.
Pretty much. It is a comedy of errors. But then, like, that's the thing with the Jason Biggs character anyway, is that only just previous we've seen him try to have a wank, but then his kid comes into the room and starts asking him things while he's trying to watch porn, and he's also he's jammed his cock end into. He's been sandwiched it into a laptop. So we've already gotten a fair flavor of the hilarious shenanigans and physical comedy that we're being presented to by Jason Biggs here.
I mean, it's very funny. I'm not mad about that. That opening scene where he slams his wiener in that laptop and he throws his cum sock on his kid's head. His wife is pleasuring herself in the bathroom,
yes.
and Jason Biggs' penis is bleeding. It's very funny.
It's kind of fucked up. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Because, like, God knows what he's done to it to, like, squash it to the point of bleeding. I mean, that's pretty horrendous.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. But
so
anyway.
in his kitchen, he, whilst trying to hide the fact that he is naked from the waist down, it doesn't work, obviously. And he tries to hide his junk with whatever's nearest to him, which happened to be a glass lid for a pot that was sitting on top of the stove. So there you go.
Yes.
Glass pot lid over his wiener, and he's got it all squished in with just the tip sticking out.
Yeah. It's very... Well, yeah, he's just, like, squished it and made it all flat, and the head's, like, poking out the side.
It's funny. I don't know. It's really funny. They had to pick the right size lid. They tried out a bunch of different lids,
right,
to make sure that they got the right size one. And it was they kept saying you gotta squish it more. It's funnier when you really squish it. So they had to get it just right, where he had to slam it on top of his wiener and make sure it's all nice and squished. Yeah.
It makes it funnier, because if you're just seeing a dick behind it, it's kind of as if he's got it, like, removed from his body if he's not kind of doing that. And no one would really do it that way anyway. But yeah, no, it is funnier. It's definitely funnier.
Jason Biggs was adamant that they should have another, kind of big, funny, comedic situation like the pie. He really wanted to have another type of pie situation. And the directors had talked about the idea. They tweaked it as they went along. Mm-hmm. And they called him during pre-production, called Jason Biggs, and asked him, basically, would you show your penis?
Mm.
And he said, I'll do anything for comedy as long as it's funny. And I felt like, yeah, that makes sense. It's funny. If done correctly, this will be the pie scene, and in some ways may even be talked about. It was what I was looking for, and my wife was with me through the whole period, and she was in agreement, so she was psyched.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's because you remember the pie scene from the first one. I can't really. Oh no, the second one has the super glue, where he super glues his hand to his weengus.
I don't really remember that.
Well, he thinks it's lube.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and he uses super glue instead.
That's terrible.
I don't know what happens in the wedding, but I mean,
I do remember a part of the wedding where he's trying to trim his pubes, and then it goes up into the vent, and then it gets blown onto his wedding cake and all over everyone's face and mouths.
Oh no, we definitely watched it then. Yeah, you and me watched it, because I remember that.
I think we watched them all one day for whatever reason. I don't know.
We probably did. I think, I don't know. It was probably during, the pandemic or something. It's probably during 2020. Probably when we did that, because we were just desperate for anything to stimulate us.
Make me laugh.
Yeah.
Jason Biggs insisted that they spend a lot of time on the wide shot just to show that it was him. He said that if he was going to do it, he was going to make sure everyone knew it was him. He goes, you see a full shot so that it's clear, or more obvious that it's my penis. I remember in early cuts, I kept telling the directors, I have one note. You've got to hold on that shot longer so people will know that it's my penis. Otherwise, what's the point of me doing this? The plain truth is, that's my penis.
Wow. I mean,
Bravo, Jason Biggs.
Yeah, at least he's not shy about it. Because I was going to say, I was just like, how funny is it in relation to those other scenes that I pointed out, though? I don't know if it's funnier.
I don't know if it's funnier, but the fact that after all these films, especially the second one and third one, I feel, especially the second one, kind of
Yeah.
is a little bit gratuitous on the female side. This one, I think, only has one pair of boobs,
Yeah.
and it's the neighbor.
I mean, it's a lot of boobs.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of boobage, basically.
Yeah.
Because, like, you might only see the one pair of boobs, but you see them a lot.
That is
you
true.
know, yeah, it's pretty relentless.
But, it didn't have to happen, but it's a good thing that it did, because that's what the movies are. They're raunchy, and they're always talking about boners, and
Yeah.
might as well. Let's go.
It's all about sex and having sex and getting it on and, stuff. Yeah, it was always like that. So it was always on everyone's mind in the 90s.
That's right.
But it's funny enough. I can't, like, I was like trying to get it so we could maybe figure it out, but
I mean,
I
I
can't
always
remember
remembered it.
yeah, I can't remember how funny that scene with the pie is, but I do remember that I think it's Smooth Criminal plays on the part where he realizes that he's superglued his hand to his wingus, and then he has to basically try and escape, and he ends up on the roof and stuff like that.
Which version of Smooth Criminal is it?
The Alien Ant Farm version. Because that's 2000s as fuck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah, in terms of being memorable, I always did remember this particular scene in American Reunion. You never forget the pie, because that was quite something at the time.
Yeah.
The second one, I don't remember that, but yeah.
There's a lot.
It's memorable.
Yeah, there's more things in this, like more kind of fucked up things that kind of happen. That are kind of, but there's a lot of gross out humor, which is kind of at least that's, they stay within the vein of those films over such a long period of time, which is why I think this film isn't actually that bad.
That's the thing that I believe that everyone realized when they were writing it, when they were filming it, is that even though it's been, more than 10 years and people grow up and these characters, like some of them have children and they've gotten married and they've got jobs, etc., people are still the same. People don't change that much.
No, they don't.
We're all children.
Yeah.
Very immature. We love farts and poop and boners and sex jokes, and it's just...
We do.
We never grow up.
We don't. No, you don't. You're always kind of the same person. Although, for whatever reason, they thought fucking high school was awesome.
I think some people... Well, not all of them do. Stifler does.
He does, yeah.
I don't know if the rest of them do. That's just because he peaked in high school.
I guess.
I didn't hate high school, but I certainly didn't like it.
No, I mean, I actively despised it. James Gillespie's high school, hated it. It was fucking horrific. But, like, yeah, I just don't get people who were like, oh man, fucking high school was the shit. It's like, no, it wasn't.
Just understand that they're sad. There's no other reason for them to have enjoyed high school.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, no. But it's, no.
Friendship is always nice.
Yeah. Well, we do like a friendship story.
Absolutely.
You like a good band. This is a band of rowdy men, though. They're a little bit sleepier in this film, I would say, but yeah, they're rowdy enough, at least.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Jason Biggs and Allison Hannigan, and they're dressed up in S&M gear and leather.
True.
Could have seen more of that.
Which is kind of, again, it's an entire, like, that scene is wild the more you think about it. Because she's brought that stuff to Stifler's mum's house.
Yes, at a house party.
At a house party where they're going to commandeer a bedroom and then, and then have sex, probably kind of wild sex while wearing leathers and stuff like that.
She also gives him a bag of stuff to put on, and then she goes to leave the room, and she goes, I'll be right back. She goes into the hallway of a party, and then, I assume, walks back into the bedroom through the crowd of people at this party wearing
leathers and a whip.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're like,
why? She could have probably gone into a closet. That house looks like a rich person's house.
I think
there's probably a bathroom in that room where she could go turn around. Obviously, the hijinks will not ensue if she didn't leave the room.
No.
But
other hijinks do ensue.
Because that one girl, that little neighbor girl, really wants to get
with
on
the boobies
Jason
out.
Biggs.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's like, oh, he was nice to me because like her current boyfriend's like a bit of a dick. But like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, good for Jim. He seems to continue to getting all these women that he's absolutely terrified of.
He's cute. He's cute.
Yeah, he's kind of funny and stuff. It just doesn't. A lot of it never really made much sense to me.
Jason Biggs in real life does better, I'm sure, than his character in this film. Because Jason Biggs in real life is actually funny. Jason Biggs' character, Jim, is not very funny.
No.
He's awkward.
I don't think Jim's meant to be particular. He's meant to be laughed at, not laughed with. He is very much the comedy pratfall. Don't be a pussy, Jim.
John Cho.
Fucking John Cho, man. John Cho.
Perfect.
Oh,
Sprinkled
he's
in.
So fucking good. Everything he's in, he's good in. That's
great,
the thing, yeah. It's just, no, he's so fucking funny in this. So fucking funny.
One of my favorite scenes, which I won't talk about too much, was the lakeside cooler shitting revenge scene where Stifler does an Apocalypse Now, right?
Yeah.
And
it comes
in
out
the
war,
lake.
yeah. Well, it's either Apocalypse Now or it's like Deliverance.
Either way.
Either way, yeah.
And he's in the lake and he's going to sabotage these Mean Boys jet skis, and then he ends up taking a full diarrhea poo in their cooler.
Yeah.
And destroying their jet skis. And
I will say, for a sound effects for someone taking a shit, I thought that was pretty spot on. How those three couldn't hear him doing that, though, is something that, if we do that, then we basically are tearing holes into this.
Yeah, we can't tear any more holes into the story.
No, this film is basically, it's Swiss cheese when it comes to like the logic of it all. But as long as it's funny. But yeah, I did like it's better than the shitting sound effects from Dumb and Dumber. That's for sure. I thought
Little squeaks.
It felt more accurate.
Oh,
Yeah, the pooping.
it did worry me about his bowels
Digestion.
and his colon and everything, because I thought if he did a poop like that after being in the water and you really had to go, I would have just pooped in the lake.
I've got a funny feeling Stifler's the sort of guy who drinks a lot of soda. So, or at least like he doesn't believe in drinking water. Like he's maybe one of those people. Because I don't know, like what Stifler kind of comes across to me is that I don't think he's unintelligent, but I also think he would be into conspiracies. That's what I definitely think.
Interesting.
I think he would be easily led because he'd be like, where's the party? It's like, I'm ready to party. And it's like...
He just wants to party with his friends.
He just wants to party. He doesn't want the party to end, Doesn't want the party to end.
Yeah, it was after this lakeside poo-poo scene where you end up seeing the neighbor naked, basically. Yeah. I don't know if I have that timing right, but anyway, it doesn't.
I don't know.
It doesn't particularly
It really
matter.
doesn't matter. Because it's just pratfall after pratfall until we get to the reunion, basically. And then everyone comes together at the end. So, yeah, it's just one of those.
Well, the director said that the nudity in the film comes from, obviously, the tradition of the franchise, but also comes just as an homage to the older R-rated comedies that the directors grew up watching, right? You just kind of expect nudity. in these R-rated comedies.
Mm-hmm.
But for this film in particular, they wanted to make sure that the nudity comes along with the storyline, which didn't really happen in the second and third installments, where, you know, if there was nudity, it didn't really come from the characters that had anything to do with the story as much.
Yeah. They weren't like recurring characters, basically. They were there purely for nudity's sake.
Right, which
and
is
that alone. So.
fun, sure, I guess, but that's not what these guys wanted to do, which I can appreciate. They wanted it to be more reminiscent of the Nadia character from the original film, where the nudity does come from a character that you know, and you're at least mildly invested in their story.
Right.
Or their character. So that was the whole thing with the neighbor. They wanted you to meet her, get to know her a little bit, get a little bit of a storyline, and then boom, boobies.
Yeah. It's probably, I mean, I think it's actually probably funnier that way as well. It's kind of like, you know how fucked up this situation is, because it's more fucked up than him just meeting a random 18-year-old who just is like, I want to have sex with you. I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
Oh, nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
And then I don't know what else do you want to say about the rest of the story, but I do want to mention Rebecca De Mornay, who kind of comes in at the very end.
You can quite easily talk about Rebecca De Mornay. Like, we don't need to.
Because you know how in all of the movies it's all about, well, at least the first one, about Finch having sex with Stifler's mom. MILF.
Yes.
All of that.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Stifler gets his revenge and he gets to have sex with Finch's mom, who ends up being Rebecca De Mornay, who is glorious and effervescent and shining.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
And they do a kind of a callback to Risky Business, because she says to Stifler, "Are you ready for me, Stifler?" Which is basically what she says in Risky Business, which is, "Are you ready for me, Ralph?"
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen Risky Business in a long, long time.
Yeah, you don't want to lay your eyes upon too much Tom Cruise.
I mean, it's like looking into the Medusa's eyes. You will turn to stone if you look too long.
Turn to Scientology.
Pretty much, you will. Yeah, like, that is the problem. If you don't believe about the aliens in the mountain, what's wrong? What's up with you?
I know. Doing? You gotta watch more Risky Business.
You should. You should watch more Risky Business.
The directors talked a lot about the budget for the film. We couldn't do this because of the budget. We couldn't film here, budget reasons, and this budget reasons.
Right, okay.
But they had a $50 million budget. It's a lot of money.
I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, it's standard for a comedy of this type, to be fair. 50 million, that's not too bad.
It made, in the box office, $235 million. So a success.
Very much a success.
Which is how much American Pie made. So, interesting.
Well, that's the thing. American Pie, like, when it first came out, it was a bit of a phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was, I think, it's kind of like, it was a return of those kinds of comedies that were a little bit more raunchy. Because before, like, by this time, you didn't, like, there was no Superbad, there was none of that stuff. That stuff obviously came a little bit later, but this was kind of more like your generation's, like, Animal House or something like that.
Porky's.
Or Porky's, that sort of thing, which was kind of, you look back at those now and it's like, oh, they're a little bit cheeky, a little bit of a nod and a wink. And I'd even say, like, Airplane's a little bit like that as well, because that has some stuff in it too. But
Porky's is pretty gross.
Porky's it's got some issues. Yeah, definitely has some issues. But at least, like, you can look at it and you can see, like, where the stem, like, the inspiration for that is, and that there was still an audience for that sort of thing. Because obviously, by the time American Pie came out, we'd had a bunch of, like, Farrelly Brothers movies as well. So the 90s was very much a time of, like, things going a little bit more gross out, because that's obviously when Jackass and stuff also started, and MTV Generation, all that sort of thing.
Hell yeah.
So, there was very much a gap in the market for something like American Pie. to come in
Something.
and make a ton of fucking money.
Yeah, it was time for penises to come back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not till 2012 for this franchise in particular.
Yeah,
But
I was
yeah,
thinking about like there's something about Mary and pork and beans.
Pork and beans. It's yeah. That's still yeah. That was another thing, guys. I don't know if we own. I don't think we own. There's something about Mary.
We should.
But yeah, that was something that was cut from the TV cut, which is what I was
Of
used to
course.
watching, where it's just the shot of his zipper, but it's like entwined in his junk.
Yeah.
I didn't see it until we watched it on streaming recently. I was like, "Holy shit!
Oh my
that fucking
gosh.
exists!" Yeah, that's not even a lie. Yeah, it's not as crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine something happening to me like that.
It's terrible.
Like, just think about it.
I'm so sorry you didn't get to see those balls before.
No. Well, I mean, I see them now.
This movie came out in 2012, which is the same year that Shame came out. And Jason Biggs was saying that he thinks that his penis came out right in time before there was too many penises on screen. He didn't want to have people to be disillusioned by too many penises. So
you
he
don't
thought,
you don't want to overshadow a Fassbender.
well,
you know.
it's funny that he even talks about himself in the same sentence as Michael Fassbender. He's like, this year is crazy. You've got Michael Fassbender and me. And I'm like, okay. I never thought that you would have Shame and American Reunion like kind of talked about in the same way, same sentence.
It's pretty funny.
Similar, not a similar theme, but
No.
but
No. No, that's the very opposite of sexual sexual repression. It was too much sex.
I don't know about that.
Too much.
Well, do you have anything else you want to add before we go into our ratings?
Absolutely not. Other than like, if we can spend the next 20 minutes talking about John Cho, then
John Cho is absolute treasure. Really is. Even in those weird horror movies that he's doing now.
he does like weird, like sci-fi,
That AI
horror.
movie.
He did the AI one. He also did another one where like his daughter go missing or
The
something.
computer one.
There's another computer one. I don't know what it is that he's doing. He is underutilized at the
Absolutely.
moment. He needs to be in his own comedy. That's what he needs.
I don't want another Harold and Kumar movie.
No, I don't think we need that. I think there's definitely another Harold and Kumar on the horizon, though. I think so. I think there is. Like, I don't know, Harold and Kumar get old or some shit. Who knows? But no. Like, what's wrong with having him in an Apatow comedy or something? Like, I would watch that easily. Instead of having Seth Rogen, just fucking whap a Cho in there.
Wappa Cho.
Yeah, just whapping Cho. Put Cho in there. See how he fares. It'd be great.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, let's go into our ratings.
So what are we covering first? Just the scene itself?
Yeah, let's do visibility and context for the penis scene.
So like I try and think about this slightly differently, where I'm thinking, the context and like the visibility and things like that. Like I want to think more about its purpose for being there, and it's in a comedy. It's a comedy situation, because that's the thing. Like it has to be funny for that moment to be funny. You can't just see a close up of his knob, and he's just like standing there, and he's like hovering the clear lid like over his piece. It doesn't really make any sense. So for them to be like, he's squishing it, so it's like pressed up against the glass and part of it's poking out and things like that. It's it serves the purpose of being, it's again another comedy penis.
Yeah.
It's a heavy comedy penis. But yeah, I mean, I think I remember laughing. So it does it. Because the thing is, if it's not funny, then it's like, oh, why are we seeing that? Because it's just like, it's like looking at anatomical books. It's like, it's not sexy. It's
No.
just there. You're like, hmm. It's like, that's how it works, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like, does mine look like that when I'm just standing there? And it's kind of just a bit sad, like a sad moment of self-reflection. And it's like, right, okay. But yeah, no, it's all squished and stuff, which is, it's kind of what you want. Doesn't that happen in Sideways as well? You like mash it against the window to the door?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like just there.
It also happens in that pop star movie, which we have not covered yet.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's
No.
rolling up the limo window and his wiener is just squished up against the glass. Yeah.
That movie's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think if we're gonna go on that basis and we look at it like that, probably a 4. It's
Okay.
pretty high.
Yeah.
I guess it gets docked because it could be funnier, but I just don't know what else you would do there to like make it funnier. Like it gets jammed in a kitchen drawer or something somehow. I don't know.
Well, he's already had it all injured before. We just didn't see it.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like to make it funnier. You know what I mean? Just get it caught on something. Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah. I don't know. So I give it a 4. Give it a
Okay.
4.
I'm probably going to just join you there at a 4. I want to say 4.5, but I would only be saying that because I think it's a long time coming. I don't think that the
Yes.
world was ready for it in 1999. I don't think they were ready for a teenager's penis in American Pie.
No,
I think that they
that's
could have done
something.
it in The Wedding.
Because like a pre-18-year-old, basically.
Correct, yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Even though he was probably like 21, I think, when they filmed that.
well, yeah, of course. It's not like you watch an episode of Barely Legal. They're underage. That's not the point.
Yeah, because they're barely legal.
Yeah, exactly. So they're legal.
Just a little over.
They're a little over legal.
18 years and 4 days.
Not illegal. Yeah, but they don't count the months in court, do they?
I'm just saying.
Right, okay. Either way. Yeah.
But I'm going to say 4 stars because it's a long time coming. We're all ready for it. I think if he was going to take his wiener out, this would have been the best one to do it. And I think it was a good timing because you got the whole gang back together. This is the best one out of the franchise since the first one. And it's memorable.
Debatable. That's debatable. But anyway, carry on.
You think that the second or the third one are better than this one, than American Reunion?
I think certainly I think there's actually some funnier moments in the wedding one than I think.
I don't know. That's my opinion, and this is my rating time.
And 2's got some nostalgia value for me as well, because I had that film on videotape.
Well, this is my time, and I say that this one is the second funniest one after American Pie.
All right, that's fine. That's okay. I just said it was
And-
debatable is all. That's fine.
It's my time.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Don't have a go at me. I'll take a shit in a fucking icebox.
God, it's so gross. And the guy
Again.
sticks his hand in it. He's got poo-poo all over his fingers.
Yeah, it's kind of
Very funny.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, anyway, I know that the balance is off because there's a hell of a lot more female nudity than there is male nudity, but you finally did get there. Get a little bit more of a balance, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but she's very naked for a lot of her sequences. So
This is her first film as well. And the casting asked for gratuitous amounts of upper female nudity.
all right.
So,
Oh yeah.
and if you're going to do it, do it when you're that age.
Yeah, that's probably
You have that immortalized on screen,
It's true.
wouldn't be mad.
Isn't she in another stuff?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. We just don't know. We just don't know at this present moment in time. So, Hell's
She
Angels
was in-
outside.
Oh, that's the wrong person. Oh, I'm Googling the wrong people.
Oh man.
Oh, dear.
Oh god. Did this kill her career? before it even started. Oh my god, I
I
can't
was
believe
looking up
it.
somebody else.
Yeah, this is awkward.
Oh dear.
This is incredibly
She was in the
awkward.
Neighbors movie,
Okay.
with Seth Rogen and
Yeah, I know. With fucking
Zac
Zac
Efron.
Efron. Yeah. Aye, that's fine. What, the first one or the second one?
The first one,
Wonder what she's
2
in
years
that.
after this.
Okay. Either way.
She is on a faith-based American family drama television series that's on Amazon Prime. Oh dear.
Okay. Well, let's just avoid that. Okay. Well, let's give our ratings for the movie then. This will probably be completely uninspiring, but yeah.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. That's too much. That's too much. I don't know. I wrote that when I watched it earlier, and I was like, "This is really fun." Can I change it? 3.5.
Oh, you can't change it now.
I just changed it. Shush. Don't even edit it. It's fine.
Even
I can change it in the moment.
3.5? Are you having a fucking giraffe?
3.5 is fine. Ratings and feelings. Life is fluid, and I change with the wind. 3.5. I don't know. I laughed. I think it's funny. There's a wiener in it. It's
Okay.
got a poo-poo icebox. Like, it's, I don't know, S&M. Funny. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. You do your rating.
Yeah, no, I started on a 3. I gave it 2.5. It is straight down the middle. And there's things, I mean, Christ, I gave Craven 3 the other day, and that film is probably worse than this, but it is far more entertaining.
Craven's so good.
Yeah. I think if I saw Craven again at like home, I'd hate the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's not for home.
It's not for home. It's for the cinema only. But yeah, 2.5. 2.5's good for American Reunion.
Okay.
It makes you laugh. It's straight down the middle, but it's a lot of what you've seen before. All those familiar faces of folk who look as though they can barely act.
Well, they all look the same. They all look the same as when they did in the first one.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's fine.
2.5. But it's a positive 2.5.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's a would probably watch again.
It's a glass half full sort of,
Tipping on the edge of a 3.
tip. Yeah, it's on the edge.
It's a 2.6.
But the sensible man in me is like, no. No, don't.
Oh my God, I wrote a 4.
I can't
3.5.
believe you said that. I have no idea where your fucking head's at now. It's so weird.
We're changing.
Fucking 4. 4 fucking stars.
Well, it's the same rating I gave to the second Joker movie.
Yeah, I think we might have to have a little conversation.
We'll have that conversation right after this.
Movie's
Thank-
so fucking terrible.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
talking about this easy breezy film.
This was light relief before we obviously catapult ourselves into the depths of 2025 and wherever that may bring.
Oh, I'm really scared. I hope it's not too bad.
What about our podcasts?
No, the year ahead.
No, I'm
the
not.
podcast is going to be
Don't
great.
even, Laura. Don't even think about it.
That stuff doesn't exist.
Just put your head in the hole like a lovely little ostrich.
Okay.
Yes.
Coming to you from dog years, it's the restaurant at the end of the film.
Okay.
I have been Laura.
John Cho.
And you have been John Cho. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.